record. Okay, first is custom model, second is built-in models, third is models from npm. Means custom model means whatever you develop for your project is the custom model. Then the built-in model means file system, http, the crypto, the path model. There are so many models already there developed by node itself. So these are built-in models by node. You just how you can include them or how you can import them, I will explain. Then a model from npm means these are models which are developed by somebody else and it is stored in npm registry. Npm is the node package manager, right? So you can also create your own code and you can push it to the npm registry. So let's see how custom models you can create a custom models. So basically what happened whenever you create any model, then you have to write inside the module.export or exports. But module.export and export both are different thing. I'll explain later on. Module.export, and I am returning this from here. So module.export is used most of the time to make it accessible in other files or other modules, right? So I'm returning an function from here and I'm accessing over here. Okay, I'm accessing over here. Then so look at it. Okay, so this is executed. This is greet1 as a function literal. Okay, so how many of you agree that exports and module export are same? Hello, Ashish, Node.js developers. Export and module exports are same. Guys, please be interactive. Ayappa,
Sir,
export and module export are same.
I know only modulated exports, sir. Exports I have not used.
Okay. Anybody else?
Sure, actually, exports and module.exports are different
Okay. So in
because
most,
exports is used to indicate only a particular. If you want to export only a particular block or function, then we'll use export. But if you want to export a particular set of blocks within a single block, like if you want to export the entire class, then we'll use module.exports.
no, it is nothing like that. You can use export as well whenever you export a bunch of code, and you can use module to export as well. But export and module export are not same. If I console.log here, let's see module export. So what is the output? It is a function, right? Now you are exporting a function, right? So I am writing here now as export only, then it crashes because it is not a function now. So we can access it in different way, like you can write over here as an object export.greet, and you can access it as grid.grid. Means it is an object, and with inside the object I am accessing this. Now it works. Look, did you see? Did you see? Now you can see export is a function but inside an object, grid. But I can access through an object, export.grid. But whenever you are exporting directly, so you have to write module export. Both are different. So how you are using is most important. So using module.export, try to understand you can export a function, an object, a class, a variable, whatever you want, you can export it, right? So for example, you want to export multiple block. For example, this is one function. You can export multiple function as well. For example, let's see the example. So I'm creating another function. It is a function literal and it is a normal function. For example, let's do this. So in that case, what we will do, we can define them as normal, let grid, or we can say gr81, for example, right? This is a function literal. I don't need this. Okay. Then this is another functions. Let's see. I'm defining a variable over here. You can use var or let. And I am returning in constructor functions. Right. Also, I'm returning one class, which is class GRT5. So I am going to export multiple bunch of code like a function, literal function, and normal functions. Then it is a variable. Then it is a constructor function. Then it is a class, normal JavaScript class. So to export them, what we will do? We can export in the same manner. Like I am create an object, and in that object I can pass all the methods and property and class, constructor and variable. Whatever I mentioned here, I am passing over here. So how can I access it over here in app.js? Now I can access grid. So it is an object now. So grid 1. So grid.grid1. Okay, look, now it works. So you can access whatever you want, you can access from here. For example, you want to access grade 2 method, grade 3, or the alias of this method is over here, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5. So if you want to access this, for example, this one constructor function, grade 4, then how could you use this? And you want to access this message method inside that grid constructor function. Then how could you access that? You have to access like this, right? Means you just create an object, then object.message. Got it? Grid 4 is a constructor function. So let me No, if you have any questions in this sections, means how you can export multiple bunch of code, or for example you want to use export here, only export, then what you will do? Can somebody say? Now it will throw an error. Look, it crashed. How I can access if I am using export only? Ankush, Ankush Zain, guys, you there, or just join and you are working on your own task? Anyone? How can I export it without module export? If I write export, then how I can access it?
हेलो.
Yes, Dev.
हाँ, आई थिंक ऐप में इंपोर्ट करते टाइम कर्ली ब्रेसेस में देना उसको. फिर
Means
मींस जहाँ पे अपने इंपोर्ट करवा रहा है
hmm.
वेरिएबल, हाँ, तो यहाँ पे रिक्वायर करके करवा रहे हैं. इंपोर्ट भी करवा सकते हैं यहाँ पे.
हाँ, इंपोर्ट भी करवा
इंपोर्ट,
सकते हैं. रिक्वायर्ड इंपोर्ट, इसमें
हाँ
कोई ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है.
हाँ,
इंपोर्ट तो
तो
तब
इंपोर्ट
हाँ.
इंपोर्ट करके वहां से जितने भी फंक्शंस अपने को चाहिए वहां से कर्ली ब्रेसेस में डिफाइन करके यहाँ यूज कर सकते हैं ना. आई एम
बट
नॉट
आई
100% श्योर.
बट आई एम यूजिंग ऑब्जेक्ट ओवर हियर. सो इंपोर्ट करके जो मल्टीपल लेते, वो कब होता है? जब मैं मॉड्यूल डॉट एक्सपोर्ट मल्टीपल टाइम यूज किया हूँ. इट्स इंडिविजुअल
जो
एक्सपोर्ट
फंक्शन है
इंडिविजुअल.
उसका भी फंक्शन में साइन लगा सकते हैं.
सॉरी,
डायरेक्ट फंक्शंस,
जो फंक्शन है उसका भी फंक्शन के साइन लगा सकते हैं. जो ऑब्जेक्ट पास कर रहे हैं नीचे जो क्लास है उसका भी
just
यूं लगा के
just create an object simply, for example grt, for example, then you can access it easily as a object over here. Means everywhere you need to add one another thing like grt dot, it will start working simply. If you use export, then you have to write as an object, and you need to add an object over there, right? Let's see, it will work. Create dot, what is it? grt. Why it is not working? Okay, it is working. Sorry. Look, it is working. So whenever you will export it, then only export, then it should be just like an object. So whenever export it individually also, for example, exports dot any method name or any object, you can treat it as a object, means obj, whatever it may be. Then it can be accessible easily. So Deep, what you are saying, you say something like, when I am importing this, you say like import, you are saying like this, then
कर्ली ब्रेसेस,
variable,
XYZ, हाँ हाँ.
yes. So it will work only when you are exporting individually. Means,
Functions.
yes, for example, you put module.export or export.object everywhere individually,
Right, right.
then you can access it. Okay. And anything, anyone, any one function, you can make it default so that you don't have to access through this parenthesis. You can directly access that.
Directly import.
Yes, directly import means without parenthesis. If you want to import, then it should be a default import. So it is a module which is used in ES6 more than ES6, ES7 and EN8, 9. So that import is used over there. Okay, but that is what not the solution. The solution what I explained here. Okay, if you want to use only export, then you have to add as an object, add another object to access them. Otherwise, you can use module.export. It is easily accessible. Then you don't have to use this one. So it is better you should use module.export. But most of the video you can see they are using, sorry, let me remove it. So they say that this is the alias of module.export. In most of the video and tutorial I see, they said that it is similar and you can use as a alias of module.export. So that is not the fact. So whenever you are accessing variable, you can use as a variable. You can, whenever accessing a constructor function, you can use as a object. By new keyword creating instance of object, then you can use all the methods and property you can access out of it. Again, same as class and constructor function are similarly, the objective is same. You can see the code inside it, they are same, but the way of writing is different. It is class based, means new ES6 ECMAScript 6 standard, and it is ECMAScript 5 standard, ES5 standard. Okay, so these are core JavaScript concept. We are not prototyping, inheritance, all the stuff is there, but we are not going to go inside it much. Okay, so it is very clear how you can create custom model and you can import it. It is very easy. It was very easy, so you can do it easily. Now you can see how to import modules, other modules like built-in module and npm module, right? So look at it. So if you want to import any custom models, then how you can, I write it over here. Look at it, just dot slash, then relative path. It is just a relative path, right? If you are writing over here dot slash, it will show you the file name, right? But if multiple file is there inside this folder, they will suggest you the multiple file. And remember here, you don't need to write JS over here. It will by default it will accept a JS file. If you are going to import inside require a CSS file, it doesn't work. You have to mention over there, but by default it is JS file. If you want to write it also, I think it will work, right? If you write JS, it is not creating any error. It will also work, but you don't have to write more. If it is working without writing any JS extension, then it is fine for us. Why we are going to use waste our time? Going to use more time, correct? So whenever you accessing or importing your custom model, then you have to write the relative path with that JS file name. So remember, it is not the module name, it is a file name, right? But whenever you are importing any default model, then you have to write something like this. Default module means core module or built-in module.
नहीं वो Node.js की ट्रेनिंग है ना.
Hello. So whenever you import any built-in file, so you have to import like this, fs, correct? So only fs, look at it, there is no relative path or nothing else, only the module name, that's it. Okay, and whenever you are importing any third-party module which is inside the npm, so how could you get the npm module? I will discuss in npm section, but the module inside the npm also you are going to import in the same way, same manner. For example, node1. So you can also access this one. So look at it, file system is a built-in module or core Node.js module, node module. So you can access it in the same manner as the npm module you are. So how could it find whenever you require any file name or module name or any file path? Then how? So it is different. Custom module is different because it can identifiable easily. but the file system, fs module and node.m1, look at it, they are similar, we are importing in the same manner. So how a node identify where is going to be searched this module, whether it is inside node underscore module or inside the core module. So we'll see later tomorrow. Okay, so any question till that? It is pretty clear. Those who are not from the node background, it is pretty clear.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, suppose we have a multiple GS file, right? And we want to import over here. We can do like that?
Yes, you can just like this, another file.
In that scenario, we have to write the multiple this sentence, let fs is equal to require as fs.
No. FS you can use once, then you can use it throughout the module everywhere. You have to import once, and you have to use multiple times. Anywhere inside the file you can use. But if you want to record it in another file, then you have to import it again over there. And most of the time, what we usually do, if a file is required for most of the file or everywhere, then we can keep them all in one file, then we import that single file in everywhere instead of repeating everything. Did you remember, did you understand what I'm saying? You
Okay,
remember?
okay.
मीन्स एक ही फाइल में सबको रख देने का, फिर वो फाइल को इंपोर्ट कर लेना एक ही बार. जैसे कॉन्फ़िग फाइल हो गया, एनवायरनमेंट फाइल हो गया, उसको हम बार बार उसके अंदर जितने सारे कॉमन यूज्ड फाइल है उसको लिख देने का, देन यू कैन यूज इट एवरीवेयर वेयर इट रिक्वायर्स.
Okay.
ओके, एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
हेलो.
हेलो.
हाँ सीके भाई.
हाँ.
यहाँ पे जो अपने एक्सपोर्ट करवा रहे हैं,
हम्म.
वहां से मैं डायरेक्ट फंक्शन एज इन एक्सपोर्ट करवा हुआ है. यहाँ पे डायरेक्ट फंक्शन अपने जैसे अभी आपने वो इंपोर्ट करके दिखाया था, ऐसे इंपोर्ट करके मतलब यूज करे तो ऐसे पॉसिबल नहीं है.
एक मिनट
जैसे कि
करके
ग्रीड डॉट
करके
जेएस में
देखता.
चले जाओ. ग्रीड डॉट जेएस में चले जाओ.
इसमें मैं
यहाँ
हटा
पे
देता हूँ, पहले ये सब हटा देता हूँ मैं. ठीक है,
नहीं, हाँ ठीक है, अब
कमेंट कर
लास्ट
दे.
में चले जाओ.
हाँ.
हाँ यहाँ पे एक्सपोर्ट्स खाली.
हाँ.
ठीक है. और एक्सपोर्ट्स करके फिर सीधा ही मतलब ऑब्जेक्ट में फंक्शंस के जितने भी फंक्शन अपन ने
ये
डिफाइन
फंक्शन
किए
ही
वो.
पास किया मैंने, ग्रीट वन इज ए फंक्शन फॉर एग्जांपल हियर, इट इज एनोनिमस फंक्शन
हाँ हाँ
पास कर
हाँ,
रहा.
नीचे चले जाओ.
हाँ.
एक्सपोर्ट करवा रहे हैं यहाँ से इज इक्वल टू हटा के खाली सीधा ही फंक्शन नेम ऑब्जेक्ट में.
मीन्स लेट मी डू दिस. मीन्स यू आर सेइंग लाइक यहाँ पे सीधा एक्सपोर्ट लिख दूंगा मैं.
नहीं नहीं, वहाँ पे नहीं, नीचे ही एक्सपोर्ट सारे एक साथ ही कर देंगे.
ये एक्सपोर्ट ही लिख रहा हूँ ना मैं.
हाँ हाँ, वो इज इक्वल टू हटा दो आप.
हाँ.
हाँ. और हाँ वो हटा दो, और ग्रीट वन की जगह डायरेक्ट सीधे फंक्शन नेमिंग ही पास कर दो. ग्रीट वन जो लिखा है आगे, हाँ सीधे फंक्शन नेम खाली GRT1.
ये सब मैं हटा देता हूँ,
हाँ
ये पास कर देता हूँ.
ठीक है? हाँ ऑब्जेक्ट में हम एज इन करली ब्रेसिस में.
ऐसा.
हाँ हाँ. तो ऐसा नहीं हो सकता डायरेक्ट मैं सीधा ही एक्सपोर्ट करवा के करूँ.
एक मिनट, इसको मैं करता हूँ ना यहाँ पर. नो.
इंपोर्ट, यहाँ पे इंपोर्ट करवा के वो वेरिएबल ग्रीट हटा के, फर्स्ट वाली लाइन हटा के इंपोर्ट करवा के जो भी फंक्शन वहां से एक्सपोर्ट करा है यहाँ पे जो चाहिए वो
ये
इंपोर्ट
मुझे
करवा
मिल रहा
देंगे
है ना,
ताकि.
यहाँ पे ये ग्रिड मिल रहा है मेरे को, इसको मैं कंसोल करूँ तो ये फंक्शन ही मिल रहा होगा, ऑब्जेक्ट मिलता होगा. सॉरी, कंसोल डॉट लॉग, इससे क्या मिलता है देखो आप.
हम्म,
एरर ही दिखा रहा है, तो मुझे इसको बंद करना पड़ेगा. यहाँ पे एरर दिखा रहा है, ये गलत दिखा रहा है, ये बोला ये गलत है, ऐसा नहीं होता है.
एक्सपोर्ट एस एस हटा दो एक्सपोर्ट से.
एक्सपोर्ट तो नहीं होता, एक्सपोर्ट बोल रहा
हम्म.
है. अच्छा, नहीं हो रहा है.
चलो मैं ट्राई करूंगा. ये शायद होता होगा, मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है। ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं।
होता होगा बट वो अलग तरीके से होता है। एक्सपोर्ट
वो
एक्सप्रेस
एक्सपोर्ट
करते हो ना,
डिफॉल्ट करके होता है शायद।
एक्सपोर्ट उस तरीके से तो नहीं
और
होता
रिएक्ट
है।
में करते वैसा एक्सपोर्ट डिफॉल्ट करके।
हाँ
डिफॉल्ट तो अलग है,
वो
डिफॉल्ट
अलग
तो
चीज
बाय
है।
डिफॉल्ट फंक्शन को डिफॉल्ट कर सकते हैं, उसमें नेमिंग फिर उसको एज इन कर इंपोर्ट कराते समय कर्ली ब्रेसेस में लिखने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, वो बाय डिफॉल्ट इंपोर्ट हो
ये
जाता
मैं
है।
जब एक्सप्रेस यूज करूंगा ना, एक्सप्रेस जेस, तब शायद ये काम करेगा, मुझे लग रहा है। एक्सप्रेस के अंदर मैं डायरेक्ट ऐसे एक्सपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट करके इंडिविजुअल एक्सपोर्ट किया हूँ, काम करता है वो। लेट्स सी। बट नॉर्मल नोड में ऐसे तो नहीं काम करेगा। एक्सपोर्ट एंड मॉड्यूल एक्सपोर्ट, एक ऑब्जेक्ट तो चाहिए होगा। ऐसे भी ये ऑब्जेक्ट ही है, बट ये एक्सपोर्ट और ये अलग चीज है। ये एक्सपोर्ट्स होता है, एक्सपोर्ट नहीं होता है। ओके,
ओके।
ट्राई करके देखना, कल कुछ मिल ले तो।
ओके।
ओके, एनीथिंग एल्स? और कोई सवाल है? नहीं है? सो यू कैन कंक्लूड। So tomorrow we'll see NPM in details, how semantic versioning work inside it. When you are going to, these are also very simple things, but some new things you can definitely learn, which you should use or you should not use. Then event, then you go further. Okay, thank you guys. So you should practice by yourself at your local PC. Just create node inside install node and try in terminal. So sometimes your Angular or React model is something behave differently because they are running in different JavaScript engine, and Node.js code running in different browser, different engine. Okay, so might be they behave differently, but you should try and find out some new things if you can, you have time. Okay, thank you.